Hello, good day, good morning, good night, good evening, wherever you are. Greetings to you. Today I'm going to make a chicken patty. I'm going to make some chicken patties today for lunch. So I'd like to take you along with me. So bake along with me. So here I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I have 1 tablespoon baking powder. I have 1 tablespoon turmeric. And I have 1 tablespoon of sugar. And I'm going to put a teaspoon of salt. And with clean wash hands, or you can use your gloves if you want to, but I prefer to use my hand because it is a bit awkward to me. And here I have my butter. Like a cup of butter. And here is my chicken, my ground chicken. And I have my soy sauce. And I'm going to put a little browning in it. And I have my black pepper and my seasoning, like my scallion, onion, and pepper, because I don't use natural season. So I'm going to mix this in. My hand is already washed, and I'm going to mix this in. Because you have to make sure your hands are washed. If you're not going to use the gloves, you have to make sure your hands are washed and are clean. So I'm mixing out the butter. You can use a fork if you want to mix out the butter, which is easier, but I want to use my hand, so I use my hand to mix it out. It takes a while. Because it's like crushing it, so it takes a while. That's why you see it is better to use your hands, your bare hands. If you're not using the fork to crush it, you have to use your hand because it's easier. So here I have my water. You can use milk if you want. Milk and water is, your choice, whatever you want. And you put the water by portion. You don't pour too much water at once. You just put it little by little. So then I'm going to put a plastic wrapper over it, and then I put it in the fridge and let it sit for at least half an hour. Here I have my plastic wrapper, and I'm just going to put it over it and let it sit in the fridge for half an hour. Here I have my pot on the stove. So I'm going to, while the dough is in the fridge setting for half an hour, it is there sitting for half an hour. So I'm going to prepare the meat, which is the chicken. So I'm adding a little vegetable oil, and I'm going to let it heat up a bit. And when it heat up now, then I'll put the scallion and the onion in first. So here I have my scallion, my onion, and a little pepper, as we call it in Jamaica, this Scotch bonnet pepper. Give your cooking a very lovely flavor and a little thyme in it, but you cannot use the stalk of the thyme. You just have to take off the little leaves and put in there, because remember, you don't want to taste any stem in any what you call it, thyme stem in the patty. So you take off the little leaves. So I think it heat up a bit. I'm going to saute this for a while. Then I add the chicken. So this is the meat for my chicken patty. So I'm going to cover it and let it steam to make sure all the redness is out of it. Make sure all the redness come out of it. I'm going to cover it and let it steam. So you know chicken takes 20 minutes to cook, so it has to cook for 20 minutes. So I'm going to let it steam for a while and then I add some water to it and let it cook. So now the dough is ready. It's already set. And with clean countertop, you have to make sure your countertop is clean. And you spread a little flour. Make sure you spread a little flour on the countertop. And you also put a little flour on the rolling pin. So now I'm going to roll my dough. I'm going to sprinkle a little flour on top, and I'm going to roll. Turn it over, lift it over, put a little more flour, and you roll. And you roll. Fold it again. Make sure the flour, make sure the counter have enough flour because you don't want it to stick. You want it to be smooth. So So here I have a little butter that I'm going to grate on top of the dough. is a bit sticky, guys. All right, so you fold it. And then you roll the butter inside. Turn over and you roll. So we are ready to make our patties. So I'm going to use this because I don't have a cutter, a pastry cutter. So I'm going to use this bowl to mark them out. So here I have one already. So I'm going to just circle it with the knife and lift it. And I have to put this up a bit. So to get space, I have to put that up. So I'll put it here and I'll roll it a little bit more. Roll it a little bit more. Just to get it a little bigger, I'm just going to roll it. Right, so then I'm going to put the meat in. There I have the meat, and I'm going to put the meat inside of it. You don't put a lot of meat, just a little meat inside of it. And then you fold it over. You fold it over. Right? You put the meat in and then you fold it over. And then you use the fork to cut it like this. And here I have my baking tray already buttered. So I have one patty there. So I'm going to cut another one. I'm going to roll it a bit, just to let it get a little bigger. Then I put the meat in the middle. point in the middle, then fold it over again like this. So you have to make sure you close it so that the meat don't come out while baking, and then you cut it. I mean, you close it. This is a way of making sure that it is closed and also decorated. So here I have 2 patties. I want to set them properly in the pan. So here I can get one more, another circle. And let me finish by cutting it with this knife. Right. So I may get 2 more patties when I roll that. All right, so you roll it a little more. Roll it a little. Put the meat in. Fold it over. So I'm going to roll this again and see how much more patties I can get from it. You put it back together and then roll it. So I have to put a little more flour because while you go along, it gets a bit soft, and you have to make sure it doesn't stick. So you have to let it firm, you know, let it be firm. So if you have to add flour to the rolling pin or to the dough, you add flour to make sure it doesn't stick. Because as you go along, you may get it stick. So you just add a little flour either to the rolling pin or to the dough, and you roll. To get it smooth. Yeah. So let's see how much more patty can I get from this that is left. But guys, the baking tray look like it can only hold 4 patties. So put the meat in. And fold. And then you so guys, I only got the baking tray can only make 4 patties. So can only hold 4 patties. So guys, I have the some egg, and I add a little butter to it, guys. I melt the butter and cool it and add to the egg. So I'm going to put it over it now. With my brush. Just put it over it like that while it is in the right. So now I'm going to place it in the oven to bake for half an hour. Here are my patties, already baked. They're looking lovely there, guys. My homemade chicken patties. Thank you for watching, guys.